finished. I'm like, hey, this is really nice. Just a small group. So thanks, Debbie, for being here too. Some alumni. Like Pastor Ken said, my name is Anita Pandoff. I am a certified and licensed facilitator with the John Maxwell Team. And I'm also alumni with TSM. I graduated with my AA degree in January of 2019, I believe it was. I do plan to go back and finish, but I got started with the John Maxwell Team. That kind of took me on that path, which is awesome. But before I get dived in, I want to kind of just tell you a little bit about my testimony with TSM. But before I start that, I wanted to, first of all, just kind of applaud you guys for being here, and you too, Debbie, and you too, Pastor Ken, for being intentional about your spiritual growth. You know, because this takes effort, it takes time, it takes your, attention. And so I wanted to applaud you. So give yourselves a hand. Yay! Right? Give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves kudos, right? Pat yourself on the back.
Thank you. I appreciate
One, but certainly not opposed to the Old Testament.
I got a competition. I won't compete against her. She's awesome. Dr. Faye. She's amazing. I gotta say, when it's kind of funny. I'll tell you my little Reader's Digest version of my testimony. When I first, Pastor Jamie first started talking about TSM back in 2011, I felt the tug of God on my heart, and I was like, "Are you kidding, Lord?" I said, "You've got to be crazy. I am 50-some years old. I have absolutely no desire to go back to school. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. My husband will never agree to it, right? I mean, I had all the excuses, okay? Well, of course, he kept tugging at my heart. I fought with him for about 1.5 years, 2 years on it, but he finally started helping chip away at those excuses, right? The first thing that got my attention was that I found out I didn't have to do the math, the science, the English, right? I was like, yay, because I can get my head wrapped around Bible study. I just didn't want to do all the other stuff. And so I said, well, that's a lot more encouraging. And then, of course, he showed me with the online program that I could fit it in my schedule. I didn't want to have to take a night every week out of my schedule, but I said, hey, I can do this on my own. So that, all these excuses he kind of chipped away, showed me in my budget where I could afford it, and how we could squeeze it in. And then, miracle of all miracles, he even got my husband to agree. Yay! But I was so happy that I did start, because I have been so blessed by these you guys. These classes are amazing. I learned so much. I've been a member of Trinity for over 30 years, and I've been studying the Bible for even longer than that. And you'd think, at a certain point, you get to the place where you know most of it. No, it's like the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And you just keep growing, and you just keep learning, and it's so amazing. And so don't underestimate these lessons in these classes. They're so powerful. Yeah. But I still didn't have a clue why God had called me to go to Bible school. Do you guys have an idea of why you're going to Bible school? Do you have an idea, either of you? No?
Well,
Okay, good.
I know he's got a purpose, but, just to grow and spiritually grow, and to continue to stay faithful, and to fellowship with one another, and just stay in the spirit.
Absolutely. And I kept asking him that. I was like, I didn't have a clue why he had me go into Bible school. I'm like, what do you want me to do with this, Lord? I'd already been through raising my kids. I'd had a career, a very successful career, and I was like, where do you want me to go from here? And all the way up until I was getting ready to graduate with my AA, I was talking with Dr. Rochelle. She's such a blessing, right? Dr. Rochelle, the academic advisor with FCU. And I still did not have a clue why I was supposed to be, what God was doing with me. And she asked me the most powerful question. She said, Anita, what do you see yourself doing? And I said, well, I've always loved and admired speakers, and I'd always get so much out of them, and I've been so inspired by speakers, and I've always thought, I'd love to do what they're doing. I said, but I've never really resonated with the pastor part. That just didn't seem like my thing. I said, and here was my limiting belief, right? I said, I can't be a speaker and not be a pastor, can I? And she said, yes, you can. And I was like, as soon as she said that, I got a vision of myself speaking in front of hundreds of people in an arena. And I said, that's it. That's what God has for me. Now, this was way bigger than I ever dreamed it was going to be. I said, and of course, this is where we sometimes get messed up when we have that vision or that God gives us a sense of what our purpose is. It's usually bigger than us. Okay, it's usually way bigger. And what we tend to do is we start to reason it away. Because in my reasoning was limited. I couldn't see how it was going to happen. But she introduced me to the John Maxwell Team, and I became a certified licensed facilitator, but I also have started learning and started growing through that program. And oh my gosh, I have been blown away. I know for a fact that that's what God led me to, was because it's the mindset where I needed the help. You know, so many times we grow and we mature over the years with our spiritual walk, but sometimes we don't really understand how to apply it. I used to think, I can't help how I feel, this is just how I feel. And it's like, you can. You actually can control your thoughts. You actually can control your feelings. You actually can create your life. I never realized that. I kind of just let life happen to me. You know, I mean, I had some goals and stuff, and, you know, I knew for a career I'd have to go to school or, you know, do something to get some skills or talent. I mean, but, you know, to improve my talent. But I didn't realize you actually are a co-creator with God. And this is what I wanted to share with you that I have learned with the John Maxwell Team. My mentor with them is Paul Martinelli. And this man has taught me so much about our minds and the way that we think. There's two parts of our mind. There's the part that we think and understand and reason, and then there's the part that controls our behavior. They're in constant communication with each other, but one can override the other, and it's very confusing sometimes because we don't always know which part of our brain is working at the moment. But what I've learned is when you have a purpose or a goal or a vision, you want to get really clear on that. I've heard this all my life, but I never realized the significance of it. Get clear on that vision. See that vision. See yourself doing whatever it is that you feel like God is calling you to do. And if you don't know, it's okay. Keep taking the next step because He'll show you. Keep seeking. He'll show you. He wants you to know. But like with me, He had to open my awareness to what was available that I didn't think was. So, but when you get that vision, keep it in the forefront of your mind all the time, every day. You want to wake up thinking about that vision. You want to go to bed thinking about that vision. You want to write it down, get specific, because what we think about is what we create. How we think is how we create. So you everybody's here. That was hilarious. You guys all know I was like, what happened? So you gotta keep that vision in the forefront of your mind, because what happens is when we focus on that vision or on the positives, you know, even like how God talks about keep your mind stayed on Him. On the positives, we create that in our life, and the part of our brain that drives our behavior just starts making it happen. You really don't even have to control that part. This is the cool part, is that we try to control the circumstances. Like if we're trying to lose weight, we try to control how we're eating, or we try to control our exercise. Instead of trying to control the outside circumstances, we want to control the vision. When we control the vision, God's laws works together to create that vision, so we really don't have to work at it. It sounds kind of crazy, and I was like really skeptical at first, but I've been doing this for a year and a half, you guys. I've had my vision, and I've been focusing on it every day, and it's starting to happen. It's coming along, and it's awesome. So don't be discouraged. I want you to be encouraged. Just keep taking the next step, no matter what. If you don't know what God's got you here for, just keep taking the next step. It's going to happen. It's going to come. You're in the right place with the right people at the right time.
Amen.
Can you give her a hand?
Thank you.
Thank you, Anita.
I enjoyed it.
Appreciate it.
Any questions about the John Maxwell Team or anything? Have you mentioned to them? You can turn it off, Debbie.
No, I have not.